Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Seasoned Vegan. I'm Kia, and today I would like to teach you how to make a vegan omelet. I made this out of tofu, and it was fairly easy to make, and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let me show you the ingredients you need to make this yourself, and then we'll go through the step-by-step process. So the first thing we need is tofu, silken tofu, and I highly recommend getting silken tofu because it gives the omelet the right consistency. Next you need nutritional yeast, cornstarch, some unsweetened plant-based milk, and some garbanzo bean flour or even rice flour. That'll work too. As for the seasonings, you're going to want some turmeric, paprika, smoked paprika, some Indian black salt, and granulated onion. So here are those things so that you can visually see exactly what it is. And this Indian black salt is amazing. It's a mineral salt that gives your food a egg-like taste. So perfect for vegans that want a vegan egg with the right flavor and everything. And then over here, these are my toppings, some optional toppings. You can top yours with whatever you want, but this is what I wanted today. I've got myself a red bell pepper, a zucchini, and some cheese. But you could go in with spinach, kale, mushrooms, whatever. It's up to you. So let's get into the step-by-step process now. It's a very easy recipe, like I said. The first thing we have to do is add all of our ingredients to a blender. So for the tofu, make sure you go ahead and drain your tofu if it comes packed in water. If it comes vacuum sealed, then that's great. You don't really have to drain much, like mine here. Look at that. I love tofu. I love it so much. Okay, so I've got my tofu in the blender. Now we're going to move on to all the other things. Let's go into our seasonings. Boom. And I didn't film the rest of it. Oops, my bad. But I put in the cornstarch, the garbanzo bean flour, the nooch, and that right there was the milk. And make sure your milk is unsweetened because you don't want a sweet omelet. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't think so. Okay, so next, the step number 2 is to blend everything up until it's nice and smooth. And this is a really easy process because that silken tofu has such a soft, very silky texture. So it blends up beautifully. And if you need to, go ahead and scrape the sides down. Easy peasy. You want everything to be well incorporated and blended up thoroughly. So here's what it's going to look like when it's nice and smooth and blended. Check that out. And it's incredible because of that Indian black salt. It really does smell like eggs, which is crazy. So crazy. But absolutely delicious and flavorful. So here's what it looks like. It should be thick but pourable. We want it to pour easily so that we can get a nice shaped omelet. Okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and set this aside, just kind of let it thicken for a little bit while we get our toppings ready. Like I said, I'm using zucchini and red bell pepper today, but you can use whatever you want. Okay, this is your breakfast, not my breakfast. So I've got my zucchini chopped. Now I'm gonna chop up my red bell pepper. And I'm making my pieces fairly small because I want them to be, bite-sized so that they fit nicely into the omelet. And now we can cook up our toppings. I do have to say, I think that mushrooms would be absolutely delicious in this. I feel like I say that in a lot of videos, but honestly, mushrooms are kind of like a flavor powerhouse and they work so well in breakfasts and lunches and dinners and everything. I love it. I would have used mushrooms today, but I didn't have any, so I'm just using what I got. That's what's great about omelets, though. You can throw in a lot of, produce that you have in your fridge that you want to get rid of, and it's a great way to use it. So I'm just going to cook these down. I put the lid on so that the zucchini and the pepper could cook down and soften. And if you look in the back there, I've got some yummy roasted potatoes. And I'm also going to show you how I make those, so you stay tuned, don't worry. I got you. They paired so well with the omelet, those potatoes, so I have to share it. I wouldn't feel right not sharing it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and season these vegetables with some garlic powder and some granulated onion. But that's about it. I'm not really doing, and a little bit of salt, excuse me. I also put a little bit of salt. But since my omelet mixture is heavily seasoned, we don't need to put a lot of seasoning in this topping. In the topping vegetables. That makes sense? Alright, so now I'm moving over some potatoes to make space for these vegetables because we are just going to set them aside now. It's time to move on to making our omelette. And I do like to, and I advise you to make your toppings first before you start making the omelette because, well, you'll see. You'll see. So, my number one tip for you. You need a non-stick pan to do this. If you don't have a non-stick pan, it's not going to work and you're going to be very disappointed. And you might even come to the comment section and yell at me. And I don't want that to happen. So use a non-stick pan, okay? And you're going to liberally spray it with some vegetable oil or olive oil or avocado oil, whatever kind of oil you want. And you're going to put about half the mixture into your pan. And then you're going to swirl it around the pan itself, swirl it around so that the mixture creates a circle. And you want that circle to be about a 1/4 inch thick, okay? It's a bit like when we made crepes together. You guys remember that? It's a bit like that. It's like a tofu crepe, a savory tofu crepe, okay? So you're also going to put on a lid. And if I were you, I'd get a well-fitting lid. Unfortunately, mine was in the dishwasher, so I had to improvise. But a well-fitting lid will be best. And you're just going to cook it for about 3 minutes. And then after that, you remove the lid and you place your toppings on one side. This part is a bit like a quesadilla, kind of like you're making a quesadilla here. Because you get all your stuff on one side. You could go ahead and put some cheese in here. I completely forgot my cheese. I don't know what I was thinking. I just kind of, powered ahead and forgot about it. Anyway, then once you get all your toppings on one side, you're going to very gently take like the largest spatula you have, you guys. Take the largest spatula you have and make sure that the omelet can kind of lift up. Make sure it's set. That's what I'm trying to say. It should look kind of dry. And if it's starting to crack and break, just, stop. Give it a little bit more time, maybe like 30 seconds. And then once you can safely fold it over, it's done. Now, if you don't want to do all that, then you can literally just buy these. I love these. But it's up to you, It's fun to know how to make certain things yourself. And then other times you just don't want to do it and you would rather buy it. And both are totally okay. So I'm letting you guys know how to do either. Now, as for these potatoes, guys, what I did was I chopped them up, put some oil on them, and then all of these seasonings, okay? It was garlic, granulated onion, smoked paprika, chili powder, and salt, and black pepper. And oh, man, so good. Such a good breakfast potato. So good. What I do is I just cook it for about an hour at like 425, and they are absolutely heavenly. Here's what they look like an hour later. Absolutely perfect. And they go so well with like a tofu scramble or an omelet like this. It's just perfect. So that's that, you guys. Next step is to just plate everything and enjoy. And you can go ahead and top it with whatever you'd like. You can put salsa or hot sauce. I personally love hot sauce on mine. So here I am putting some sriracha, but you could use whatever hot sauce you like. But that's it, you guys. That's how you make a vegan omelet. Pretty easy. Pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoy. Well, I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.